Covering the Treasure Coast, parents, this is a good one for your kids. Youth interested in a career in utilities have an opportunity to learn more about their work. The Fort Pierce Utilities Authority is holding its first youth career event. Joining me is the Public Affairs Sustainability Director, Rachel Tennant, and Pearl Liverpool, the Utilities Committee member. Thank you so much both for coming here all the way from Fort Pierce. We appreciate it. So let's just start about telling us about this career event, first of its kind. So Rachel, you want to start?
Sure, yes. So we're holding a youth career event, and it is the first of FPUA's career events that we've been able to hold, and it's really something that came about from the Utility Advisory Committee.
Okay, and Pearl, you can talk more about that. So explain us how this came about.
It came about because one of the roles or part of our strategic plan is to periodically reach out to various groups who have expressed an interest in knowing more about what we do or what the utility authority do and can afford them. And we find that throughout the years, our youth would leave the area and have a career someplace else. And our interest is to allow more of the youth here in the Fort Pierce area to be aware of the fact that there are career opportunities here local, and we would like to have an opportunity to share with them the various types of work that could be done either at a high school graduate level or even college level with certain degrees at hand. So we're really excited about that.
That's such an important point you bring up, because I was talking to some youth in Fort Pierce and they talked about that, how a lot of their friends, they seem like they leave the area and get their jobs outside of Fort Pierce. So we want to keep people in their hometowns, right? When they come, is there an opportunity to get hired soon after that? Or how does that work? Is it just to get experience in seeing what happens there, or are jobs offered?
Well, when they come to the job fair, you're asking, correct? Yes, what we're doing, hopefully, is making them aware of the various types of opportunities there are at FPUA. If there are opportunities available at this time for various departments, of course, the department managers will definitely speak up and make themselves available. However, as a furtherance, they want to make them aware that such opportunities are available right here in your hometown, so you don't have to seek employment and career opportunities elsewhere, and they're at various levels which you may meet the terms and conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rachel, you know, if parents are listening to this, if kids are listening to this, what are the next steps they should take?
Just join us. The event starts at 4 p.m. in Fort Pierce. We've got about 14 different groups from within the utility company, and that includes all the specialized groups: electric, natural gas, water, wastewater. We also have our support groups, finance, customer service. Just come on by, meet them, meet the staff that are behind the scenes doing this work, and we can take it from there.
And where exactly is it?
It'll be at the Energy Services Center in Fort Pierce, and I don't have the address.
That's fine.
The address is 1701 North 37th Street.
Perfect. All right, and we're going to make sure we put all that information, I know it's hard to remember it, on our website right now. So
Thank you.
Look, take advantage of this if you're listening, if you're at home. This is a great opportunity to, again, keep those jobs and careers right in Fort Pierce. All right, Sandra?
Stephen.